Welcome guys back to another episode of Arsenal Transfer News Daily. We are back for a third day on the 3rd of January. It is the third day of the January transfer window and we are here to talk all things Arsenal. Once again, as the rumour mill is spilling and Arsenal are being linked to players, but not as many players as I thought we would. But two main players which we did talk about on the 1st of January, we're going to be touching on updates about those players today. In the hope of trying to figure out what the situation is around those particular two players we're going to talk about. The first being Mykhailo Mudryk, a player that we've talked about intensively over the last 2 days. We'll try and keep it short, but I'm not sure that would be so difficult. However, the news is that Arsenal have launched a second bid in their pursuit of Mykhailo Mudryk. The first bid got rejected at a valuation of 40 million euro plus 20 million euros in add-ons, which raised the total package to the total package then became about 60 million euros. But now there has been a new bid in which the upfront cost is around 62 million. Actually, no. The new bid is said to be around 70 million euros with more upfront, and that is said to be closer to what Shakhtar will be willing to accept. Whether they do accept the second offer still remains to be seen. But the two main differences in this offer is that we've increased the total package by 10 million euros, but we've also increased the amount we are giving to Shakhtar up front. So they're the two main differences in the second offer we've presented to Shakhtar. I want to read out the report from my computer screen. Arsenal are closing in reportedly on the signing of Ukrainian international winger Mykhailo Mudryk, with a second bid sent to Shakhtar Donetsk after the January transfer window opened. The 21-year-old is Arsenal's number one transfer target for the January transfer window and is keen on making progress and completing the deal. Personal terms have said to be agreed, and they have seen a £55 million bid rejected already by Shakhtar, who have publicly stated they value their star player at £85 million. Gunners sporting director Edu has not been deterred by that stance and has submitted a second new bid. As I said, the first bid was included 20 million in add-ons. He's been scouted intensively by many of Europe's biggest clubs, having contributed 10 goals and 8 assists in all competitions this campaign. But Arsenal are said to be in pole position. Shakhtar are not in talks with any other clubs, despite interest from Chelsea, amongst other clubs, and have previously expressed their openness in selling in January. Talks for Mudryk are on. Chiefs executive Sergei Palkin said on Thursday, "We receive offers, but not the one we would like to see on our table. I'll speak again to Arsenal, so yes, we are open to discussing fees and ideas. If we agree, then let it be. So if we will not, then let it be another time." He said a few days ago, now literally in 5 minutes, we have a new conversation for a Mykhailo Mudryk deal. So presumably that was quite a few days ago now. Mikel Arteta, in contrast, has kept his cards close to his chest so far. He said, "I cannot talk about players that are not ours." He said before his press conference, before Arsenal's trip to Brighton, who Mudryk seemed to be watching the game. Two top coach, he posted on his Instagram as well. I think every guy dreams about the Premier League. He told CSP Sport, "Arsenal's a very good team with a very good coach. I like the way they play. Yes, it'd be hard to say no from my side. I can't say no, but the transfer is not the only my decision and my word." So Mykhailo Mudryk has openly spoken about his desires to try and play for Arsenal. And look, it seems like, as I said this yesterday, I said this the day before, and I'll continue saying this. The player wants to come. It's just a case now of Shakhtar being a bit dogged in their approach to try and get as much as they can for their player. Now, that is normal in football, normal in transfers. It's not as easy as, Shakhtar going to say 100 million, Arsenal just going to present 100 million to the table. That rarely happens in football. It's not so easy. But when Shakhtar have been so public about this deal as they have been, as public as Mudryk himself has been, it seems like no surprise that Arsenal maybe want to try and get this deal wrapped up quickly so they can end the saga surrounding it, because the last thing they need is this saga to be overshadowing other events of the club. So I think for Arsenal, we should look to try and close this deal as soon as possible. Now, whether the second bid will be enough remains to be seen. As of now, as of 12:32 a.m. UK time recording this, there is no report suggesting that Shakhtar have accepted or denied this bid. I think if you want my personal opinion on this would be that this probably won't be enough. We will need to put a bit more on the table for Mudryk before we can sign him. Maybe 5 or 10 million more, maybe a bit more in add-ons. Maybe this will be rejected, maybe it'll be accepted. But I think it will be a bit more in the end. We end up paying for him. But it's good that we're doing business early in this window. Try and get this one wrapped up. As I said, we've got crucial games coming up in January. So to secure such a big star that's going to help us, especially in those wing departments. Left wing, you can play, right wing. We talked about this yesterday. You can go check that video out. It's just a previous video on my channel. But as I said, it's a decision we need to make quickly, and it's a deal we need to sort out quickly, which Shakhtar Donetsk. So that is the news on Mykhailo Mudryk, and a second bid has been put in the region of £62 million, 70 million euros in total fees, and it remains to be seen whether Arsenal do accept that bid. We'll have to just wait and find out. The next bit of news is surrounding João Felix. Now, he's a player we talked about on the 1st of January, and is a player that we do need to discuss once more because there's been fresh reports surrounding a potential Arsenal loan deal for João Felix. The first one is from Fabrizio Romano. He suggests that new contacts will take place this week for the João Felix deal. Premier League clubs will have new direct talks with his agent Jorge Mendes. Chelsea are focused on the Enzo deal, while Manchester United and Arsenal have already had talks with Mendes. PSG are said to not be in the race at the moment. As I said, Felix is a player that is sought after. Chelsea have had some interest, but looks like they're focused elsewhere. Man United, Arsenal, rumours here and there of PSG. So there is widespread interest in João Felix. He is a youngster that is well known and well regarded to be a very good young player. I think he's won the Golden Boy, I think, a few years back, maybe 2018. I'm not 100%. I can't remember. He might have done. But my point is, João Felix is a player that, as I said, signed for Atletico a few years ago, 120 million, big outlays. It's not 100% worked out for him. And the second report I wanted to discuss was from David Ornstein. Again, these two credible sources are what we're basing this off, so you'd think it's reliable. But he suggested that the total package to bring someone like João Felix to the Emirates would cost in the region of 21 million euros. Now, the 15 million of that 21 goes towards a loan fee for 6 months. So the 15 million is going to be a loan fee, and 6 million euros is going to be his wages, which a club, Arsenal, United, whatever, would have to cover. So the total price will be in the region of 21 million euros for a 6-month loan. Is that worth it? Interesting question. It depends on his output. How much is he going to play? If he's going to play, where he's going to play, how is he going to play? It's all these different things you have to take into account when you put that sort of outlay onto a player that A, may not even play, B, may not even do anything, and C, may not even adapt to the league. So I think in this situation, it's a big risk. Now, it's a risk that Arteta do need to sit down and think, is this worth the risk? You'd think that they've scouted this player for quite a while. If they are interested and have talked to Mendes here and there, you would think that there has been some sort of previous scouting of the player, whether he would fit into the system or not. Maybe 21 million euros might be a bit too excessive. I don't think Arsenal will go down that route. Maybe Manchester United might not go down that route. I think it will take a bit of negotiating with Atletico Madrid to get that down, but they are prepared to loan Felix, which is a big thing. Obviously, they want to loan him. Maybe they're willing to go down on the price of the loan fee, but that is what is put out there. 21 million euros for a 6-month loan. To me, not so appealing. In terms of striker options out there in the market for such a value, you're probably not going to get much better. So it's a risk that I think needs to be assessed. Personally, I'm in the balance still with this one. Very good player, but that loan fee is excessive. Again, it's not my money, whatever, and I would take him, but it's whether Arsenal would, and I'm trying to think through the lenses of Edu. I'm trying to think through the lenses of the club whether we would go for something like this. I think it all depends on whether Arteta wants him or not, how desperately he wants him, how bad Jesus' injuries are, how good Nketiah is doing at the moment. He's doing alright at the moment. He's got 2 goals in 2 games. But again, how long does that continue? Do we need backup? All these different things will be going through the minds. Obviously, as fans, we'd love to have someone like Felix at the club, but it's obviously not as simple as that. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with João Felix. But the main bit of news is that Atletico Madrid are willing to loan him out this week. Talks are ongoing with his notorious agent, Jorge Mendes. And 21 million euros is what they want as a loan fee. So let's see what happens with that. But that's it for today's Arsenal Transfer News Daily. If you have enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe. We're trying to get back onto the daily content grind. If you have any ideas, also leave them down in the comment section down below. All my other videos, shorts, whatever, you can check out on my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.